An update on the fight against fentanyl. Local law enforcement leaders are ramping up operations to crack down on dealers and cartels.
Yeah, but they are calling on state leaders now to fund Proposition 36. That's that crime measure that California voters approved last fall that put in place tougher consequences for fentanyl and other hard drug dealers. In case Area 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala checked in with our California Attorney General Rob Bonta about this and what he's making of the situation so far.
Golston, as we reported ahead of the last election, Attorney General Rob Bonta would not take a position on Proposition 36. He did tell us today, though, that he thinks it should be fully funded, but did not share exactly how. We caught up with AG Bonta at the press conference where he stood alongside local law enforcement leaders today. That included Sacramento District Attorney Ten Ho, Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper, and Placer County District Attorney Morgan Geyer. All of those leaders supported Proposition 36. Cooper in this press conference actually criticized the governor and legislature for not coming up with a plan yet to fund this crime measure, which did not come with a specific funding mechanism when it was pitched to voters. The major missing piece of the money here is to establish the treatment mandated felony option that Prop 36 provides so that offenders can have that felony expunged once they get drug or mental health treatment. The governor has proposed to set aside more money for prisons, but not for that treatment mandated felony. The governor said it should be up to local governments at this point to fund the treatment side. Here's what Bonta had to say.
Obviously, because it passed so overwhelmingly, the people of the state have spoken loud and clear. And so I think getting a full implementation is critical. We're in difficult budget times, so that's a tough issue for the legislature and the governor, but I think the will of the people should be delivered. Of course, Proposition 36 could have had a funding component to it. It didn't, but now that's an issue that certainly can and should be addressed. I was once in the legislature, no more, so that's between the legislature and the governor to determine what that looks like, given there are multiple priorities in these challenging times and a budget that's not as robust as I think most of us would like.
The governor said that for the DAs, the cities and counties that supported it, they should just fund it. I mean, do you agree with that?
I don't know the best way to fund it. If counties and states, counties and local jurisdictions can contribute, perhaps. If the state can get it done, perhaps. If a funding source needs to be created, perhaps. I think everything is on the table for how you implement the will of the people, but I think it should be implemented.
So the legislature and governor have until the end of June to set the state spending plan and potentially work this out. That's when we'll have a better sense of how Prop 36 could be funded, if at all, by the state.
Yeah, let's talk about the possible funding source. I mean, is there any proposed state laws that are trying to help here?
Yeah, actually, Democratic State Senator Tom Umberg pitched Senate Bill 28, which would get the systems in place for that treatment mandated felony and other aspects of Prop 36. That bill actually passed off the Senate floor today, meaning it's halfway through the lawmaking process. It heads to the Assembly for consideration next, but it needs to be signed by Governor Gavin Newsom in order for it to go effect. If all of that happens, it would go into effect immediately.
All right, Ashley, thank you.